If we assume that the factory owner is a mini dictator of his factory, and thus this is a state, okay, well, how many people work for him? A couple of hundred? He has a tiny hierarchy or state. Anyone in his state can leave at any moment, and nobody is being forced to comply with his state. So, he's no threat to anyone. This is why I don't fear the factory owner. I don't fear the owner of a corner shop or a restaurant chain. I don't fear them at all.
Let me ask you something, TIK. Suppose you have a meat packaging plant, and at this meat packaging plant you have hundreds of employees who are in the country illegally. All these employees carry fake IDs with stolen social security numbers obtained for them through acts of fraud by their employer. An employer who, too, is foreign and has zero regard for the laws and customs of a people he does not respect. These illegals are paid very poorly, of course, far below the wage a tax-paying citizen would agree to work for. And their working conditions are terrible. But these people have no means of leveraging their shared group identity in order to pressure their employer to increase wages or improve conditions. Any threat of a strike and the employer could simply call immigration and customs enforcement to deal with the problem. All the while, lawful citizens of the local community are suffering due to their inability to find work that will pay a living wage. Does this scenario seem fair to you? I certainly hope it does not. Unless I've misunderstood you, the above example is what you would describe as capitalism, freedom. I find it a great shame when later on you describe any form of state control over the economy as socialism and equate it with slavery, badly damaging everything you've had to say on socialism up until that point, which most of it was really good. I do really feel that you could do with an editor for these long-form videos on politics, economy, or philosophy. You should speak to me. I'm sure we could work something out. Until then, here's another example for you to think on. Imagine a foreign government subsidizes steel production and dramatically increases the output of all its state-run smelters. All of this is being done in the ambition to turn all your steel mills unprofitable, in the hopes they will be driven out of business and put up for sale or shut down entirely. Now, you could of course place tariffs on all imports of steel in order to protect the livelihoods of your local steelworkers. Would that be fair? In your view, as you describe it, such an action is textbook socialism, the state taking charge of the economy in the form of price controls. As for myself, if a hostile foreign market threatens to destroy all domestic production, yes, there is absolutely a case to be made that steps should be taken to protect the working class of my nation. While on the whole, I much prefer capitalism to socialism, I care more about the common good of my people. What does that make me?